look, I'm 45.
Public snub for her 45th birthday.
This was all particularly tragic given that Meghan herself had to mark her own birthday.
But where was her mother, Doria?
Harry's kind of done playing that game.
Oh dear. For once, I agree with Prince Harry.
Meghan Markle tried to turn her 45th birthday into proof that she had won. A happy marriage, a thriving business, a perfect Montecito kitchen, a prince still close enough to film the celebration. But within seconds, the entire performance began to crack. The plastic tiara looked desperate, the Mrs. shirt felt like a message, the dogs were dragged into the show, and Harry's two-word reaction became more memorable than anything Meghan actually did.
Oh dear.
So what was this video really trying to hide? Why did a supposedly private birthday need so much public proof? And why, at 45, does Meghan still seem to need Harry in the background to make every reinvention matter? Stay with us, because the kitchen clip was only the opening scene.
Why is she wearing it looks like a bridal pajama set that you give for friends. You go on a hen do, you know, like wifey material, soon to be sort of thing. And she's not giving wifey, she's giving crazy.
The real birthday disaster is what it revealed about the marriage, the brand, and the American dream Meghan has spent 6 years trying to sell. The clip was presented as playful and spontaneous. Meghan danced around the kitchen in a paper tiara, wearing a shirt that loudly announced her status as a wife, while the dogs were pushed into birthday hats.
Oh dear.
Oh dear indeed. Followed by the unedifying view of her dogs being forced to wear party hats and a Prince of the Realm's gross bare feet.
Wait.
Oh dear.
Girl. Oh no.
No.
Take it off. I'm sorry.
Harry could apparently be heard nearby saying, "Oh dear, maybe he was teasing. Maybe he was reacting to the dogs. Maybe it meant nothing at all." But Meghan chose the footage.
Seriously? I thought this was fake. Some things are best left in the phone and not posted for the world to see. Meghan Markle must be the most insufferable person to live with.
Meghan posted the footage, and Meghan allowed those words to become the soundtrack to her big moment. And once viewers heard them, the celebration changed instantly. The woman in front of the camera looked determined to show carefree happiness. The man behind it sounded as though he had seen this performance before. Is that the romantic picture Meghan intended to release? Or did Harry accidentally give the audience the one honest reaction in the entire clip?
These rumors of Harry's close friendship with a woman in Montecito, all of a sudden it's like, we're fine. I promise you, we're really
happy.
fine. And the fact that she even posted the clip with him saying, "Oh dear," is like a sign that it's just desperate to show there is some form of proximity. He loves me really, okay? He even loves my dancing.
That question matters because this was not just another birthday post. The timing made the marriage itself part of the performance. For months, every solo appearance, every separate trip, and every report about Harry wanting more time in Britain has produced another round of speculation. Then Meghan suddenly appears in an It's Giving Mrs. shirt, dancing while Harry's voice confirms that he is physically nearby. Could the message have been any less subtle?
This might be a little bit of a bid to hit back at those divorce rumors, or at least the problems in the relationship.
She was not merely telling the audience that she felt happy. She was reminding everyone that she was still Mrs. Prince Harry. The shirt did not look accidental. It looked like a headline she could wear. And if the relationship was never the point, why make her marital status the loudest part of the outfit?
The most important day of the year. It's Giving Mrs. Isn't that a shirt a newlywed would wear? Like a novelty just married look at me in Mrs. now kind of thing. Definitely a message to the divorce rumors.
Before we continue, one quick thing. One thing I've realized is that most families don't have their important information organized in one place. That's exactly why I recommend the Family Vault, a simple printable and fillable organizer where you can keep everything from important documents and insurance to medical information, passwords. You'll find the link in the description, or you can simply scan the QR code on your screen. Now let's get back to today's story.
And this is exactly why marriage rumors are not merely personal gossip for Meghan. They threaten the structure underneath her public image. Her flowers, fruit spread, cooking show, podcast interviews, designer clothes, and carefully arranged photographs are all sold under a royal shadow. The title is still there. The crest is still there. The fascination is still tied to the man she married.
Can't help but feel that Harry's kind of done playing that game. If you remember when they did that dance in the garden, he took a bit of convincing before he'd smile on camera to actually play along with her. I think he's just done with her games and her nonsense and her constant thirst for attention. No wonder he looks drained, Dan. Can you imagine how exhausting it must be trying to keep her happy?
Oh my God, I know. Oh dear indeed.
Meghan can call herself a founder, producer, entrepreneur, activist, and lifestyle expert. But remove Harry, and the question becomes brutal. Would the same audience still care? Would every kitchen dance become international news? Would every jar, candle, or photograph receive the same coverage? Then there was the promise of a quiet birthday. Quiet? Where exactly was the quiet part?
What happened to Meghan Markle's quiet birthday plans? You know, the plans that she briefed to Hello magazine? Instead, we had to see a woman who believes she should have a royal role in some type of sachet like a drag queen around her crap kitchen with a fake birthday tiara on her head. This is real.
The public received the kitchen video, the tiara, the dogs, the pool photograph, the balloons, the childhood image, the company post, and the product connection.
Meghan can't help herself. She has to celebrate herself. We saw very, very similar when it was their anniversary. It was the celebration of Meghan. Everything was geared up for Meghan. And then this.
That is not a woman being reluctantly discovered by photographers. That is a rollout. Meghan did not simply have a birthday, she produced one. She selected the images, controlled the captions, created the mood, and turned the occasion into content. And she has every right to do that. But why brief the world about privacy and simplicity, then flood the internet with carefully chosen proof of joy?
While putting out new pictures of her childhood. What's that about privacy? There was one public message, one. Nothing from the royal family, nothing from any A-list friends, one message publicly from Kelly J. Zedgefen, who wrote happy birthday to this great dream girl.
Was the birthday private, or was privacy just another word used to make the campaign sound tasteful? The more content appeared, the stranger the celebration became. Her own lifestyle brand posted a message congratulating its founder. Think about that. A platform controlled by Meghan was effectively used to tell Meghan how wonderful Meghan was, while also directing attention back toward Meghan's products. It was birthday affection turned into advertising.
There were no congratulations or celebrations from the Kardashians or the Williams or even her Suits co-stars. So instead, as ever, the account that she runs, the account that she writes, posted this. Happy birthday to our founder, Meghan.
Even the childhood photograph did not arrive alone. It was attached to the business machine. Could nobody else say happy birthday without a candle being placed nearby? Did every personal milestone now have to become a sales opportunity? The result was not warmth. It was Meghan congratulating herself through a corporate account and hoping the public would treat it like an independent tribute. That is where the lack of loud celebrity greetings became impossible to ignore.
You mentioned Friends. I don't know how many they've got left. And even Martha Stewart, she's even had a go overnight at Meghan Markle's attempt to be a homemaking guru.
Meghan's image has been built around powerful friendships, supportive women, private group chats, handwritten notes, exclusive dinners, and a supposedly devoted Hollywood circle. Yet the birthday did not produce the enormous public parade that such an image might suggest. The company spoke. Meghan posted. The dogs wore hats. But where were the major stars rushing to celebrate her?
Yeah, where is mum? Where is mum? I mean, mum was so close to her throughout the wedding process. And, you know, she constantly said, my mum is my idol, the woman I look up to. Where is she? Missing.
Yeah.
Missing in action.
At this point, we should put her on a milk carton.
Yeah, well, I totally agree.
Where were the emotional videos, the glowing tributes, and the flood of famous names? Private messages may have arrived, of course. Nobody outside Meghan's circle can know what happened behind closed doors. But she invited the public to inspect the celebration, and the public immediately noticed how much of the noise appeared to come from Meghan's own accounts. This is where the birthday stopped being funny and started becoming revealing.
It's just Meghan celebrating Meghan. You know, Meghan wishing herself birthday messages from Meghan to Meghan. It reminds me, she had a watch inscribed many years ago. She bought herself a tank watch and she had it inscribed for the future daughter that she might one day have. And it was like 2mm from MM. And it's still very much the same.
Meghan was not simply marking another year. She was presenting a progress report. At 45, she wanted the audience to see a woman who had escaped the palace, conquered America, built her own empire, protected her family, found freedom, and created a glamorous life on her own terms. That was the promise behind the California move. 6 years later, what was the image used to prove that victory? A paper crown in a kitchen, a novelty shirt, dogs in hats, a husband heard but barely seen.
Is the closest that Meghan Markle's ever going to get to wearing a tiara ever again. So, you know, let it go.
Small mercies.
Is this really the grand ending Meghan imagined when she and Harry walked away from royal duty and announced that they were building something bigger? Consider the reinventions that followed. First, Meghan was the serious royal determined to modernize an ancient institution. Then she became the woman exposing that institution. Then came the global humanitarian, the streaming producer, the podcast host, the campaigner, the female founder, the lifestyle expert, and the homemaking personality.
Nearly a decade after she burst onto the royal scene, Meghan has gone from actress to working royal to podcaster, reality star, entrepreneur, and one of the most polarizing public figures in the world. Love her or loathe her, she's impossible to ignore.
Every new identity arrived with expensive photographs, dramatic interviews, and promises of a fresh chapter. But how many chapters can one person launch before the audience asks where the actual story is going? Meghan does not appear to finish one reinvention before the next one is announced. She changes the costume, changes the logo, changes the vocabulary, and asks the public to forget that the previous version failed to stick.
I don't think that she could relax. I don't think she relaxes when she's asleep. She's just constantly processing and calculating.
The podcast era was supposed to establish Meghan as a powerful media voice. That deal ended. The production era was supposed to create major films and television. The announcements often became more memorable than the finished work. The lifestyle era was supposed to make her a trusted authority on food, friendship, entertaining, and elegant living. Instead, viewers spent more time discussing the awkward promotional moments than the products themselves. Is that success or merely visibility?
She's still involved in that reinvention process, but it's just not working. I mean, people don't look at Meghan Markle and go, oh, look at that royal lady. Look at that princess. You know, she's a fully fledged member of the royal family. No, they look at her and say, look, there's that 2-bit cable actress trying to be a member of the royal family and failing.
Meghan's greatest skill may not be building a lasting brand. It may be forcing every new attempt into the headlines before anyone can measure the result. She launches loudly, disappears quietly, then returns under another title. And at 45, the cycle is harder to disguise. A 20-something actress can say she is still discovering herself. A new royal can say she is learning the role. A recently relocated couple can say they are building the foundation. But Meghan has now had years.
Nothing ever quite satisfies her. So even, you know, the rare occasions when it looks as if things are going well for her, she won't be pleased. she'll want it to be better, and she'll try and reinvent. So the reinvention process with Meghan, I think, will be permanent, and it will never reach fruition.
Millions of dollars, global connections, streaming contracts, magazine covers, public sympathy, and more second chances than most creators receive in a lifetime. So, where is the undeniable success? What does she own that does not depend on another reinvention next month? What project has become so strong that it can survive without the Duchess title, without palace drama, and without Harry appearing somewhere in the frame?
Yeah, the whole business of marrying Harry, becoming a royal, always wanted to be a princess. This is a process of reinvention. Oh, I'm really not top of the tree, am I, in Hollywood? I'm not Meryl Streep. I'm not Nicole Kidman. I'm in some poxy little cable show, Suits. Oh, I'm not really making it. So I need some other way of getting to the top of the ladder. I know, I'll find myself a prince.
That is why one line from the birthday commentary hits so hard. Meghan appears to confuse fame with popularity. Everybody knowing her name does not mean everybody admires her. Attention is not affection. Curiosity is not loyalty. A car crash attracts viewers too, but nobody calls the wreck a success. Meghan can dominate headlines and still fail to build trust. She can trend for a kitchen dance and still not sell the public on the image behind it. She can receive millions of views because people cannot believe what they are seeing.
I think she's in a constant process of trying to reinvent herself. But it just doesn't work.
Does she understand that difference? Or does every spike in attention convince her that the latest reinvention is finally working? The birthday clip was a perfect example. It generated conversation, but what kind of conversation? Were viewers praising a joyful wife with a thriving home? Or were they laughing at the tiara, questioning the shirt, replaying Harry's reaction, and asking why the entire scene felt staged?
45-year-old woman who fled British royalty making charges of racism and being silenced wears a plastic princess tiara in her kitchen in her solo birthday celebration. You can't make up this level of irony.
Meghan got the attention. She always gets the attention. But did she control the meaning of that attention? The moment "oh dear" became the headline, the answer looked obvious. The audience took her carefully produced message and rewrote it. She wanted happy marriage. They saw Harry is exhausted. She wanted carefree celebration. They saw desperate proof. She wanted private joy. They saw desperate proof. Another publicity campaign.
It's quite extraordinary, isn't it, to feel that you have to brief the media about the fact that you are going to have a quiet birthday, but then insist on invading your own privacy once again.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8 photographs plus various posts plus a video. This is really celebrating quietly, But this is Meghan. She doesn't want to celebrate it quietly, but it is rather embarrassing that she had no one wish her a a happy birthday in the celebrity world.
And then, the age itself became part of the criticism. This was not a young actress being silly at a private party. Meghan deliberately released the footage as the public image of her 45th birthday. She wanted it seen, she wanted it discussed, she wanted the balloons and tiara to communicate something. But what exactly? Confidence? Youth? Royal fantasy? Defiance?
I'm all for, a fun life. But a 45-year-old woman leaping into a swimming pool, with her balloons and 45, emblazoned on them, that is not the act of a mature middle-aged woman. And she is a middle-aged woman. Let's get that right.
The performance looked like a woman trying to prove she was having more fun than everyone who doubted her. Yet people who are genuinely content do not usually need strangers to confirm it. Why did Meghan need the internet to witness the dance? Why did the shirt need to announce the marriage? Why did Harry's presence need to be heard? What would have happened if she simply celebrated and posted nothing? Perhaps the answer is that silence has become dangerous for Meghan.
Strange in the sense that Meghan felt that, the world needed to see her in a swimsuit again. I felt like the holiday summer dump was enough.
When she disappears, the public starts measuring the business. They ask about the unfinished projects. They question the streaming deals. They notice Harry attending events alone. They compare the promises with the results. A birthday spectacle interrupts that conversation. It gives the media new images, new jokes, and a new emotional message.
Meghan Markle never skips an opportunity to celebrate herself. I mean, it's just so obnoxious to me that she would, I mean, the pictures, it's just silly. It's like, I think we maybe overuse the word, but it's just too perfect here. It's undignified some of her behavior and some of her pursuits for media attention.
But it only works if the performance appears natural. This one did not. The harder Meghan pushed "I am happy," the more viewers asked why happiness needed so many props. A tiara, balloons, a slogan shirt, party hats, a swimming pool image, and a corporate birthday message were not proof of peace. They were evidence of effort. That narrative is becoming more important because her brand still struggles to stand without royal fuel.
This is the summer where she's envious that Charles is going to throw Camilla a birthday party, and she wants to hijack the headlines by looking great in her bathing suit. And I mean, it does feel like Meghan's trying to recreate some like very low points in Diana's life.
Even the birthday tiara dragged viewers back toward the monarchy she left. The Mrs. shirt dragged them back toward Harry. The Duchess title drags them back toward the palace. Meghan insists she has created an independent life, but nearly every major story still requires the institution she rejected. How independent is a brand that constantly borrows its value from the family it says caused so much pain? How free is a woman who still needs royal symbols to make a kitchen dance interesting?
Meghan Markle is fun. She's relatable, okay? Don't you forget it. That's the only tiara she's ever going to wear. And all Harry's got is oh dear. I don't understand the kind of people that make their birthday a week-long national holiday. Even Jesus only gets one day.
At 45, Meghan is not outside the royal story. She is circling it, selling around it, and repeatedly reminding the audience that she once belonged inside it. The problem is that Harry himself appears less eager to perform than he once did. In earlier years, the couple sold constant physical affection, matching smiles, dramatic hand-holding, and the image of two people taking on the world together.
This is her most embarrassing performance yet. And amid all of the concerns about the state of the marriage, the fact that we literally hear Prince Harry utter those two fateful words, oh dear, this felt like it had so much more meaning and significance behind it.
Now, even supportive photographs are examined for distance. Harry increasingly appears serious, distracted, or absent from Meghan's projects. The birthday video could have silenced that discussion with one warm appearance beside her. Instead, viewers received an off-camera, "Oh dear." Could there have been a more disastrous soundbite for a clip apparently designed to prove closeness? Meghan wanted proximity. She got exasperation. She wanted a romantic supporting role. Harry delivered 2 words and vanished.
Desperate, deluded, doomed.
Oh.
That is Meghan at 45. She is desperate to be loved, to make her mark, to be loved by everybody around the world. She is deluded insofar as she thinks she's some kind of superstar in her own right and that people love her.
That does not prove a divorce. It does not prove they live separate lives. It does not prove Harry hates the video or the marriage. But it proves Meghan cannot control how the public reads them anymore. Every attempt to manufacture certainty now creates more doubt. A beach photograph becomes evidence to analyze. A dinner image becomes a body language debate. A kitchen joke becomes a marriage headline. And the more Meghan tries to settle the question, the more she tells the audience that the question terrifies her. If the marriage is secure, why keep selling security? If the family is relaxed, why does every image look chosen to answer an accusation?
She's celebrating herself. So this is her 45th birthday. I don't know if you've noticed, but she's got a husband and 2 kids. And the picture she posts on Instagram is just her. leaping into a pool, celebrating herself. As you say, it's not dignified. It's not the act of a mature 45-year-old woman. I think it's the act of a woman who's still very lost. She doesn't really understand or know her place in life. She's still searching for it.
The pool photograph triggered familiar comparisons, but we are not repeating yesterday's story. Today, the real issue is why one birthday needed to prove youth, romance, status, business success, and royal relevance all at once. When one post tries to prove everything, it usually exposes the panic behind it. And the future now looks more difficult, not easier.
What is this about? I mean, A, what does she think she's doing? As you said.
Do you not think that she's trying to look like Diana on her last summer on Earth with all of these bathing suits and beach shots? Do you think she's trying to do that?
Well, I think there's always a suspicion of that hovering in the background with Meghan. She's obsessed with Diana, and that gets into realms of weirdness.
At 45, Meghan cannot keep announcing a total rebirth every 6 months without the audience noticing the pattern. Another podcast will be judged against the last one. Another streaming project will be judged by whether it actually appears. Another product launch will be measured by sales, not celebrity gifting. Another family photograph will be examined for what it is trying to hide. The benefit of the doubt has been used up. From this point forward, Meghan needs results, not balloons, not slogans, not captions about joy. Results.
45 years old, she's at the crossroads. What's going to happen going forward? God knows. But I don't think the future is bright. I don't think the portents are good for either her or Harry.
What happens if those results never arrive? Does she launch another brand, return to acting, write the royal memoir everyone expects, push Harry further into the content, create another show about a different version of herself? The reinvention machine cannot stop, because stopping would allow the public to inspect what remains. And what remains may be far smaller than the empire Meghan once appeared to promise. A controversial title, a husband increasingly pulled toward Britain, a lifestyle company fighting for credibility, and an audience that watches closely but does not necessarily believe. That is the real reason this birthday mattered.
Even Harry doesn't post pictures of himself, but Meghan, me, Meghan, you know, the most important 2 letters of her name are the first 2 letters, M and E. That adds up to me. Her whole life is about her.
Before we continue, I want to mention something really quick. Organizing your family's important information is one of those things most of us know we should do, but we keep putting it off. That's exactly why there's the Family Vault. It gives you one place to organize your important documents, insurance, medical information, passwords, and more, so everything is easy to find when it's needed. You'll find the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code on your screen. That's all. Now let's get back to today's story.
It was supposed to be a victory lap. Instead, it looked like a defensive statement. Meghan wanted to celebrate 45 by showing the world everything she had: the home, the marriage, the brand, the joy, and the confidence. But the clip forced the opposite questions. Why was Harry off camera? Why did his reaction sound so weary? Why did a quiet birthday become a content campaign? Why did her own company need to congratulate her? Why did the famous friendship circle feel so quiet? And why, after 6 years of freedom, does her identity still collapse back into one word: Mrs.?
You can bet your last penny she never wore a plastic or cardboard tiara in her life. But you know who did? 2 separate American duchesses who were obsessed with their titles and status after marrying a king.
Meghan may have danced through those questions, but she did not answer them. The balloons distracted the audience for a moment. The dogs created a joke. The tiara created a photograph. Yet Harry's "oh dear" cut straight through the production. It sounded like the reaction of someone watching another Meghan Markle performance become bigger, louder, and more complicated than it needed to be. And whether Harry meant it that way or not, the public heard exactly what it was already thinking. Oh dear, indeed. Because Meghan Markle's 45th birthday did not prove that the American dream was alive. It showed how hard she now has to work to make it look alive. It did not silence questions about the marriage. It placed Harry's voice at the center of them. It did not establish an independent brand. It reminded everyone that the prince remains the most valuable part of the package.
Why does she want to be Diana? She's married to Diana's son. What on earth is going on there?
And it did not reveal a woman who had finally found her role. It revealed a woman still changing costumes, still chasing applause, and still hoping the next post will deliver the success the last reinvention failed to produce. So tell us what you think. Was this simply a harmless birthday joke that the internet took too seriously? Or did the Mrs. Shirt, Harry's background reaction, and the flood of selected content reveal a much more desperate message? Did Meghan look genuinely carefree? Or did she look like a woman trying to convince the world that everything was fine? And the biggest question of all, if Harry had not been heard in that kitchen, would anybody have cared about the video nearly as much?